I'm here with Dr. Bill Lyle. And Dr. Bill Lyle, can you explain a little bit about what you do in the medical industry?
Sure. Well, I've delivered babies for 30 years, delivered over 5,000 babies. And one of the keys is a patient's a person, no matter how small. We now have a full-time ministry, which is to educate and teach people how we are diagnosing, treating, and curing babies while they're in the womb. But also, abortion is an attack on the image
Yeah.
of God in the womb out of a hatred for God.
Yeah. And I 100% agree with that. I am from Florida.
Yeah,
Florida, we are very pro-life,
me too.
but also we have a really high abortion rating.
We do.
66,000
Yeah,
total, right? In Tampa alone, we have, I think, close to 9,000 every year.
correct.
So we are working in Tampa to try to end that, right? One thing that you touched on when you were speaking was about how it's more beneficial for the mother, because a lot of arguments I get is that what about the mother's going through something with a sepsis or all this stuff?
Sure.
You said it's more beneficial for the mother to be separated from the baby instead of aborting the baby. Is that
That's how
correct?
we cure the baby.
Yes.
And even when we talk about sepsis and infection, when we look at the abortion pill, it's not as safe as Tylenol. In fact, there was a study that came out from the Ethics and Public Policy Center on April 28th of last year, and it showed that the risk from taking the abortion pill, they followed a patient's insurance information. They had over 865,000 women who were prescribed the abortion pill, and they followed them. They found that over 40,000 of those women had to go to the ER.
Wow.
24,000 of those women had to be treated for hemorrhage. 12,000 of those women had to be treated for either infection or sepsis, and over 3,000 of those women were actually diagnosed with a tubal or ectopic pregnancy. So it was not less than 0.5%, it was actually 10.93%, almost 22 times more dangerous for the mom. I mean, it's killing babies 98% of the time,
Yeah.
but the abortion pill is dangerous for the moms as well. So when it comes to healthcare, I mean, when I have a pregnant patient, I have two patients, and I've got three, I've triplets, and I've had quadruplets. I have 5 patients. They all have value. So to a lot of times protect the life and the health of the mother, sometimes we have to deliver and separate the mom. It's not the killing of the baby that saves the life of the mother, it's separating the two. And we've had babies in Florida surviving at 22 weeks gestation. There was a baby in Iowa that survived at 21 weeks. Baby just north of us, north of Pensacola, at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, that was delivered 21 weeks and 1 day. So separate them, and you just pray
Yeah.
that the technology will save that baby,
Yeah.
and then you can have a healthy mom and a healthy baby, and that's what healthcare is about. And the mom and the dad will always know that I gave my baby every opportunity. I mean, yes, we have those miracles where we have 21-week babies, but now we're resuscitating and saving babies at 23 and 24 weeks, and you see that in your family. And technology is getting better and better every year. But if we can save their lives and diagnose, treat them, and cure them, all patients have rights. Clearly, the babies in the womb are our patients, and they deserve health care and they deserve rights.
One last question. So, one quote that I really love is by Francis Schaeffer, and he says, part of the reason why abortion clinics are still open is it's like every abortion clinic should have a sign up front said "open by permission of the church," right? So, how important is it for the church to be speaking on these topics
Sure.
like abortion? Why is it so important?
Well, it needs to be coming from the pulpit. It's great having pro-life obstetricians. It's great having pro-life politicians. But this is a direct attack on the image of God in the womb. I live in Pensacola, Florida, home of the Blue Angels, and I've delivered 5 of the Blue Angels babies.
Wow.
So when somebody, burns the American flag in Pensacola, it doesn't go over
No,
well.
it's not.
Oh, why would they do that? Because the American flag is the image that represents the United States. So when somebody hates the United States, they want to destroy and desecrate the image that represents the United States.
Yeah.
In Genesis 1:26, God said, "Let us make man in our image." So that wasn't just Adam. We're all created in the image of God at that very moment of conception, when we are, half the time we're a different gender from that moment of conception from the mom. 20% of the time we're a different blood type, but 100% of the time we're genetically different from the mom, the dad, and the other 8 billion people on the planet. So at its core foundation, what is an abortion? Abortion is an attack on the image of God out of a hatred for God. It's a spiritual battle, which is why it's to be led by our pastors from their pulpits, not a bunch of obstetricians and politicians in the podiums.
Thank you so much. And guys, this is coming from a medical professional.
I've
So,
delivered over 5,000 babies, so
yeah.
this has been my life
Yeah.
for the past 30 years.
Thank you so much, Dr.
You're
Bill. I
welcome.
appreciate it. God bless
Pleasure to
you.
meet you. God bless you as well.